You ready or no?
Yeah.
Okay, because you're typing.
Just had some more ideas.
Okay. Just wondering if you want to start a podcast or not. You're still typing. What we're doing this podcast is, I'm Bubba. This is my wife, Anna. We'll get into who we are in just a second. But we like to take a little bit of time and just help kind of change preconceived notions that maybe the church has with nerd culture and that nerds have with church culture by meeting in the middle and talking about an idea, which today is Advent.
Advent.
Well, today is not Advent, but today's topic.
We're in Advent.
Yeah, but today is not. Advent is not a day.
It's not one day.
It is a many days.
It's true. So it's a period. Like Lent.
Like Lent.
No, not
belly
like
button Lent.
Oh my gosh. This is going to become another short.
I'm not trying to create content.
Lent.
But that's what we're going to be talking about today. And so hopefully you enjoy the content that we have. Like I said, my name is Bubba. I'm the CEO and founder here at Love Thy Nerd. And I'm also one of the hosts of, obviously, this podcast.
Many things.
Free Play, Beard Bros, Matt Bubba in the Morning, yada, yada, yada. All the things.
And I'm Anna.
Mm-hmm.
That is only the second time I've said that. You've told us a lot of times how many times, what your name is.
I know what my name is.
So do our listeners now.
I bet they know what it is too.
Yeah. Well, I'm only going to tell you just a couple of times. And if you forget me, that's fine.
Yep.
I am the host of only one show on the LTN network. And that is this here Church Nerds show. You said, when we were talking about s'mores, it made me want to talk about the Great British Baking Show. But
no, shocker.
I will not.
Everything wants to make you talk about it.
Sometimes I forget that s'mores are American. And apparently it turns out British people do not know how to do them. So
that can't be right.
Yeah, it is right. There was a bunch of stuff that they've been trying to do all this international food. And every time they try to do international food, the people from that country are like, you're terrible at this food. Like Mexican Week, where they made them make tacos.
Tacos.
On a baking show.
How much for 2 tacos?
It's not a lot of baking involved in tacos.
Well, it was like the same.
But it was like the one challenge, the one technical where I was like, I know how to do this. I know how to make pico de gallo, and I can even say it. I know what all of those ingredients are.
Pico de gallo.
Yeah. So one time they had them make s'mores. And
they ruined it?
Well, they're like, oh, your marshmallows, they're not firm enough. You need your marshmallows to be firmer.
Did they make marshmallows?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like absolutely not.
That's way
You don't
extra.
want a firm marshmallow on a s'more. You take a long time and melt that sucker all the way through. Hey,
liquid centers.
If you want to be involved with something in one of our community areas, like I don't know, somewhere, Facebook or Discord.
I cannot wait to see where you're
Here's the
going
question I want to ask. Are you a marshmallow burner or a marshmallow toaster and like melter?
Yeah. So
what's the perfect marshmallow to you? Because mine.
If that question is not like forthright enough, are you a monster or are you part of civilized society?
I am the low and slow marshmallow. If it has a little bit of foamy, like solidness in the middle, that's okay, but it needs to be a very small percentage.
I'm almost certain that we've talked about this before.
Probably.
Because I mentioned, hey, my kids want s'mores, and so that means me going out and starting the fire at like 3 p.m.
Yeah.
So that when the sun goes down, there are coals, and they are bored out of their minds. They're like, this is stupid.
And they
Our
end
dad
up
hates us.
lighting all their marshmallows on fire anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruining it for me.
Okay. Well, here's the other thing that's happening.
Is that not what you want to
Doesn't have to. That was a freebie, everybody.
You're welcome.
Because I just can't help talking about the British Baking Show. I'm so sorry. We have been sick. You may remember that last week I was sick while talking about recovering from being sick. You guys, we are still not over being sick. And I mean, my kids have been sick.
Like big kid sick, like real sick.
Fevers that put people in the hospital kind of sick, which we were monitoring it with the doctor. I think she probably doesn't believe me that it was a temperature of 107, but I kid you not.
Oh, it absolutely was.
Anyway, nobody went to the hospital. but she told me, our pediatrician, who is my friend, she's like, if it has
She's
a
my friend
name,
too.
no, she's my friend.
Oh, okay.
If it has a name, it is going around. So, I mean, all of the flus,
Yep.
COVID,
Yep. Just
obviously,
kind of lingers. Yeah.
RSV, hand, foot, and mouth,
RSP, CT.
strep. And I just learned today that another thing that's going around is scarlet fever.
Yeah. What year am I right now? Scarlet fever?
One of our friends, her poor child, they thought she had hand, foot, and mouth. Turned out the hand, foot, and mouth was hiding the fact that she had strep throat. And then scarlet fever came along with that because I guess it's related to strep. I don't know, but I was like, oh my gosh, because we just did Little Women. Remember, everybody, how I helped direct the play Little Women?
No, I'm not.
Spoiler alert, in Little Women,
Oh, yeah.
one of the well-beloved characters of the book gets scarlet fever and then ends up dying because she just never really bounces back ever.
Thank you for not saying the name, just in case anybody who hasn't seen this 90 million year old story.
I don't want to spoil it for you. We've talked about this. I'm okay with spoilers. If people spoil things for me, that's completely fine. But maybe somebody's going to go out and read Little Women. I don't know. Anyway.
I didn't know anything about Little Women until I went and watched the play.
Yeah. Well,
Still not sure I know a whole lot about it.
I asked this friend of mine whose child has been terribly sick, did every literature reference of scarlet fever from the 1800s just come back to haunt you? Because it happens to a lot of characters in books that I have read, in Little House on
books.
I guess so.
You need to read modern stories.
Little House on the Prairie, someone ends up blind from scarlet fever. The Velveteen Rabbit, Christmas story, kind of. I don't know. A lot of people read it at Christmas. I guess it's not really Christmas themed.
I don't think we've ever read it at Christmas.
Anyway.
Hypocrite.
No. Frankenstein. Someone gets scarlet fever in Frankenstein.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say Frankenstein was a Christmas.
Dr. Frankenstein's mother gets it, I guess.
Got it.
And
Okay.
Obviously Little Women.
Obviously.
I don't know. It's a bad thing.
The Scarlet Pimpernel? The Scarlet Letter?
Okay, stop. You have never read either of those books. Thank you very much.
They made books out
Also, The Scarlet Pimpernel is one of the best books ever written. I'm just going to say.
No. Agree to disagree. Have you read Diary of a Wimpy Kid? I know you have.
That was the worst.
You loved it. Get out of here.
Stop.
You loved it. Cheese?
No. Stop it.
Come on.
The cheese finger is basically the modern scarlet fever, I guess. Cheese finger, is that what it's called? Cheese
I don't
finger?
know. Cheese something.
Pretty
Cheese
sure
touch.
it's cheese touch.
Oh,
Gross.
man. I had to go deep into the memory banks.
Gosh.
Think of the things I had to forget to remember cheese touch.
Think of the things you never learned in the first place, and you read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and you had all that space in your brain for it.
How can I think of the things I never learned? That's ridiculous.
You
Cheese
should
touch.
at least watch the movie.
I did watch the movie A Diary of Wimpy Kid.
No, the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Well,
It's so good. Okay,
I don't wanna
I'm
watch
gonna stop.
that.
Wow, I
Next.
haven't thought about that story in a long time.
you're welcome.
In that one, it's not the scarlet fever; it is the plague going around.
Which is
That's
kind of what
the
it feels
one.
like right now.
It does. I don't know if the plague is going around.
Maybe it is. Sure, it's still around somewhere.
Probably,
But that's-
no the plague. The black.
That's some of the stuff that we're dealing with. And so if you're trying to reach us in real time and we're like, oh, sorry, can't do this, can't have life group, can't be anywhere. I haven't been to church
I just
in
feel like we're never going to get back to
a year.
doing normal stuff.
I think here's the thing.
I've kind of just started going places sick
you absolutely did.
because I just
Everybody's going to get sick anyway.
that's what I feel like, and that's not very responsible. But I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do.
Stay home and get better. Maybe just start there, try, give your body rest, stuff like that.
All right. Well,
But if
done
you've
preaching
been
at me.
trying to reach us, we're so sorry. Was that preaching? That was terrible preaching.
You were
it did not
judging-
resolve.
you were judging me.
It didn't resolve at all. But anyway, hey, we're going to take a short break, hopefully rest a little bit ourselves in the, what's probably going to be 10, 15 seconds before we go into the next section.
I'll take one swallow of tea. That will be my rest.
We've been drinking a lot of tea lately.
Lots of tea. Ooh,
we both have tea right now.
If you would like a really cool recipe for some yummy tea, my friend, I'll tell you about a friend thing we've started doing later, but she brought me this tea and she told me the recipe. And it's 1 bag of chamomile tea, 1 bag of peppermint tea, and a tablespoon of honey, and like a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger and maybe some lemon in it if you want that. And it's just so soothing and delicious on your throat. The burn of the ginger is like, it's a good kind of burn.
I'm more of a hibiscus boy.
That stuff is not good. I do not like it. It's very tart.
That's what I'm drinking right now, actually.
Yeah, it's weird. We're talking about tea instead of coffee today.
Yeah, hey, man.
This used to be the coffee podcast.
It's that time of year, all right? Try not to get sick.